Hello students, today we are going to see some more reason of causes of poverty. This is the 8th part of the same chapter. In our last video we have seen historical rural reason of poverty, economic factor of poverty. Today we are going to see social reason as well as other reason of causes of poverty. So here in a social reason of poverty we can see that there is a very first reason of poverty is a low level of education. As we know that with the help of education we can get more opportunity. But if level of education is low, and because of that we can see that there is a low opportunity in the any sector. So because of low level of education, people they are getting less opportunity and they are not able to use the technology, and because of that there is a low per hectare productivity as well as per labor productivity is also less because of lower level of education, and because of that we can see that there is a lower level of income. And again we can see that because of lower level of education people they are not able to use the new research and new technology, and because of that there also income decrease. So all these reasons are causes into poverty. So lower level of education is the one of the most important reason in India for the poverty. So let's see that. Causes of poverty in that. Today we are going to see social reason of poverty. And in a social reason, very first reason is a low level of education. One of the most important reason of poverty in India is a scarcity of education. Scarcity of education, because of less trained and skill they are not able to use the technology. Because of low level of education, use of technology, new agriculture system, research and benefit of market are not able to take. And because of this, there is a low per labor productivity as well as per hectare productivity. As a result, there is low per labor productivity and per hectare productivity. And as we know that if there is a low per labor productivity and per hectare productivity is low, that is going to be resulted into low level of income, and this leads to low level of income. And apart from this, as we know that if there is a low level of education, then again is going to get low opportunity in every field. Apart from this, benefit of opportunity cannot be taken. Cannot be taken, and because of that, wages level remain low. And because of low level of wages, we can see that poverty is going to be increased. So poverty increase. So this is the very first social reason of a poverty. You may note down this in your notebook. Our next social reason of poverty is a gender inequality. As we know, since beginning in India, there is a gender inequality, and because of that, women, they are getting less opportunity, even less food, and because of that, there is a malnutrition and weakness in a woman, and because of that, there is a high level of mortality rate, and that is again because of less opportunity, and they have to work compulsory at home, so they are not able to work out, and if some of the women, they are working, they are getting less than men, and as we know that half of the women are there in a total population. So because in the population women are more and they are getting less paid, and some of the women, they are not able to go to work because of compulsion of work at home, and all this reason is affecting to the income of the family, and because of that, there is a low level of income in a family, and that is again causes to the poverty. So our next reason is a gender inequality. Second social reason is a gender inequality. In that, we know that from the beginning, India has gender inequality. malnourishment, low weight and weakness. And because of malnourishment, we can see that there is a high maternal mortality. High maternal mortality. And again, that is believed in the society that a woman have to compulsory work at home. So that is a belief of society. The belief of society is woman have to work compulsory at home. Which is resulting into low level of education, and less opportunities to work. And again, if some women they are working, they are getting less salary than the men at workplace. Women are paid at the workplace. Females are paid less than men. So as a result, we can see that even we know that there are in a total population, less than half population is of women. In total population, less than half are women. And as we know, if they are getting less paid, so income of the family is going to be less. The total income of family keeps low, and that is again resulted into poverty and increase poverty. So this is the another social reason of a poverty. You may note down this in your notebook. Our next reason of poverty is a other reasons. In other reason, we can see that very first reason of a war. As we know, after independence, India fought to fight against two neighboring countries. That was against the Pakistan and China. And as we know that during war time, that the expenditure on expenditure on the arms will be more. So the spending on a economic development is going to be less. And again we know that during the war time there is a scarcity of basic goods and service. And to avoid the scarcity of a basic goods, in the future people store more goods for the future. So because of that there is a high price level of a basic goods, and that is again leads to the poverty. And as we know that when we are spending more on a defense, there will be a less money to spend on economic development. So economic development is going to be slowed down, and because of slowed down of economic development there will be a less income of a people, and that is again resulting into poverty. So let's see the other reasons. In that, very first is a war. Okay. So after independence, India fought 2 wars. That is against Pakistan and China. And during war, we can see that there is a more use of arms. During war, resources are used. For arms. So this reduced the production of basic goods and services. This reduce production of basic goods and service. And as we know that during wartime people store more goods for future. Goods like food grain, clothes, fuel, etc. for future. And if they are storing more food and more clothes and fuel, that is resulting into high price. As a result, prices increase. Rapidly. And because of war, economic development slow down. Economic development slow down. And economic development when there is a slowdown, it is again remain the low level of income, and level of income remain low. And this resulting into poverty. Our next other reason of poverty is increase in a defense expenditure. As we discussed earlier that after independence, India fought 2 wars, and because of these wars, India needs more security system. And to make a strong security system, there is a need spent on missiles, submarines, as well as tanks and fighter planes. And that need more expenditure, and that expenditure leads to less economic development. Again, as we know that India is fighting against the terrorism, and to again the fight terrorism, there is the need of modern missiles and modern technology in a defense. That is again spending a lot, and because of all this reason, the expenditure on defense was more, which leads to less expenditure on economic development. And when there is a less expenditure in economic development, which leads to less economic development, and because of that there was a less income of people, which leads to the poverty. So our next reason is a increase in a defense expenditure. That is the second reason of poverty. Increase in defense expenditure. Okay, so several war made issue of security in India. And to make security system strong, expense on expenses on modern missile, fighter plane, tanks, and submarine have increased. Rapidly. And in a present era, to fight against terrorism, lot of spatial facility have increased the expenditure. Expenditure on defense. The expenditure which we are incurring on a defense is a non-development. The expenditure is non-development. Non-developmental, and we cannot spend on a development side. So economic development is going to be slowed down. Economic development slows down. And as we know that when there is a slow economic development which leads to less income of the people, and which resulting into less income of people. And because of less income, there is a poverty is going to be increased, and poverty increase. So that was the increase in the defense expenditure leads to the poverty in India. You may note down this. The last other reason of poverty is a defective policy. Whatever the policy were made to reduce the poverty was defective policy. As we know that there was after second planning 5-year plan, there was a importance was given to basic and heavy industry, and which was leads to the economic development. And because of that economic development, there can be a possibility of a employment. But in this policy, the agriculture sector and small and cottage industry, which was giving more employment and income to higher population, was neglected, and only importance was given to heavy and basic industry, and which was capitalized base. So which was giving less employment, and which leads to the poverty. Apart from this, again the other reason of poverty was the 5-year plan. There was a different various scheme which can eliminate poverty in India. But because of frequently change in a ruling government, the continuity and the coordination of that scheme was not possible. And because of that, again there was a neglection of the scheme due to the changing in a government, and which again leads to the poverty in India. So let's see the last reason of a poverty, that is the defective policy. The third reason of poverty is the defective policy. We can see that for a rapid economic development in India, basic and heavy industry were given priority. Priority. And because of that, there was an economic development to make economic development. And removal of poverty, and for removal of poverty. Removal of poverty and unemployment. But as we know that India is an agriculture country and most of the population they are engaged in an agriculture sector and small and cottage industry, and that sector was neglected. But this policy neglected. The vast population which was dependent on agriculture and small and cottage industry. So here, this policy was neglecting these people who were depend upon agriculture as well as small and cottage industry. And we know that this agriculture and small and cottage industry can give more employment. This industry can give more employment and income, and which developed slowly. Apart from this, we can see that various schemes were applied. Apart from these various schemes were introduced during planning to reduce poverty. And unemployment. But due to frequent change in a ruling government, Let continue. And coordination. Coordination. And due to that, the target to reduce poverty cannot achieve. And so here we can see the causes of poverty. So student, here we are finished with the causes of poverty. In our next video we are going to see the action to reduce the poverty, how we can reduce the poverty. Thank you for watching this video. You may note down this in your notebook.